students. Hello everybody. A warm welcome to the worry session. My name is Preksha Sharma, your English educator at Unacademy, and I give you all a very warm welcome to this very particular session. A very good evening to everybody right in there. Hi and hello guys. Kindly give me a confirmation in the comment section that you all can see me well and you all can hear me well. Quickly everybody, please tell me in the comment section that I am correctly visible and audible to everyone right in there. Hi guys, hello everyone, a very good evening to everybody right in there. So, what are we gonna do today? We have got the poem The Road Not Taken with us, and I am going to make you all revise the entire poem in one go. It is going to be your half yearly revision, so it's gonna be done in just one shot. Please make sure you all are listening to me very carefully and you all are understanding everything correctly, because this is gonna be really helpful for everybody right in there. Hi everyone. Hello guys. Quickly give me the confirmation in the comment section please that you all can hear me well so that we can make a move ahead accordingly. RKP study. Hello. Hi Piyush. Hello. Welcome to the very class. Hi guys. Welcome to the very session. I hope that everyone is doing really nice and great. Okay. Hey Anisha. Hi Chandan. Hello. Good evening. Hi Babita. Hi Anisha. Hi, Info World. Hello, you're from class 8. What are you doing here in class 9th class? Okay, everybody. Alrighty, people. So moving ahead, everyone, what are we gonna do today? As I said, we are gonna deal with the poem, The Road Not Taken, and I'm gonna tell you all about the poem in just one go. I'm gonna make you all revise everything perfectly. So kindly make sure you all are going to listen to me very carefully. Moving ahead, what's my name? I'm sure you guys are aware of my name. My name is Preksha Sharma, and I've done Masters in English from Delhi University. I've been guiding a lot of students for the past few years to be really good in the communication skills and to score good marks in the academics. So kindly make sure that you guys are definitely following me dedicatedly and you guys are following whatever I'm saying. If you want to flourish in your speaking skill, if you want to kill your embarrassment, if you don't want to be hesitation filled, and if you really want to be a flawless amazing public speaker, so kindly make sure you all are following me dedicatedly. And hello to everybody right there. So guys, we have got the Telegram channel. This has specially been designed for all our dear and darling students. So please make sure that you are definitely joining it, because this is something that's for your good. Okay, so don't miss it. Kindly make sure that you are just letting your friends also know about it, because all your favorite educators would be sharing the updates related to all the upcoming sessions here and on this very channel. Then we have got the special classes. They are utterly special. They are absolutely free. Okay, you all can learn from your favorite educators for free. You all can engage with the educators via polls. You all can clear your doubts in the live special classes as well. So for the top special classes, you can definitely visit the links which is given in the description below, and this is for your good, for your betterment. These classes are absolutely free and everybody can enter into these classes by using my code PSH10, which is really an amazing way in order to flourish your level of understanding. Okay. Moving ahead, this is basically for all the class 10 students. Right, today I'm gonna deal with the PYQs, that is previous year question papers. Code is PSH10. Please enter into the class by using my code PSH10. It's gonna be right at 9 p.m. Be a part of it, and it's 10th August today, so it's gonna be today itself. Yeah, sure, Gaming Plaza, I'll be doing that. Okay, don't be worried about it. Now the road not taken, half yearly revision it is, and this is one shot. So this has been written by Robert Frost. All right, amazing poem it is. It is really symbolic. It is telling us something which has got a very deeper meaning. So now please tell me what is being given in this poem. What do you understand? Because tomorrow right at 1 p.m. I'm going to conduct the Menti quiz of this very particular poem, and it's really important. So kindly tell me that what do you really understand by it? What is the meaning that you get out of it? Tell me quickly, everyone. The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. What do you understand? What exactly is being given in the given poem? Who is going to tell me? Everybody, come on, let's do it. Okay, we need to tell each other, right? Of course I'm gonna tell you all what's being given in the poem, लेकिन आप मुझे कुछ बताओ कि क्या दे रखा है इस poem में. Okay, इतना difficult question नहीं है, मैंने बहुत ही easy, बहुत ही आसान सवाल आप लोगों से पूछा है, तो एक आसान सा जवाब फटाफट से दे दीजिए मुझे कि इसमें क्या दे रखा है, आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या है, जल्दी बताइए. All right, quickly. क्या मिलेगा हमें इस पोम में? Anybody trying at least? Shall I wait? Or is it that nobody is really interested in giving me an answer for this very particular question? Is that the case? Everybody is mute. Come on, write something in the comment section. Okay, Ananya says the right thing. If we have two choices in our life, we should take time and select the right one. Absolutely correct. The road not taken is basically very symbolic. It is basically talking about the two choices that one comes across in his or her life. Okay, we should take time because, like, of course, that is a dilemmatic situation. आप थोड़े से chaos में होते हो. You really don't know कि मैं कौन सा रास्ता अपनाऊं, मैं कौन सा रास्ता नहीं अपनाऊं. Okay, so that is really one of the very problematic things. Yeah, Antima, you're right, Chandan. We should choose our path by own self, and we should always be very careful in choosing the right path. That is also important. So the road not taken is not talking about the road that was being left out. Instead, it is more about the choice that was being left out. And the poet might have chosen the career of being the poet, which is not being chosen by a lot of people in the world, right? That is what we are here going to deal with. Please make sure you're understanding the poem correctly today, because after this I'll just be coming up with the questions. We are not going to come up with the, I'm not gonna come up with the one shot revision again. So make sure that you're listening to me carefully and perfectly. Moving ahead, I've always been saying this is really important. You should know something about the poet. आपको थोड़ी सी information होनी चाहिए. क्यों होनी चाहिए? कि कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हमें ना वैल्यू बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस या कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस में ना कुछ कुछ आंसर्स लिखने होते हैं, ठीक है. ऑफ कोर्स आंसर्स आपको लिखने होते हैं, तो उसमें आप डायरेक्टली आंसर स्टार्ट नहीं कर देते हो. इंस्टेड यू गिव टाइम. ओके, आप थोड़ा सा टाइम देते हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिल्डिंग द फ्रेमवर्क फॉर दैट आंसर, एंड दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो आपको उसके लिए एक फ्रेमवर्क बनाना होता है, और वो फ्रेमवर्क को बनाने के लिए यू शुड बी एबल टू गिव द आंसर्स वेरी नाइसली, ठीक है. तो वहां पे आपको थोड़ा इन्फॉर्मेशन पोएट के बारे में देना चाहिए. ऑफ कोर्स नो डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन इज गोइंग टू बी आस्क्ड इन योर एग्जामिनेशन. नोबडी इज गोइंग टू आस्क यू एनी क्वेश्चन अबाउट द लाइफ ऑफ द पोएट, or the biography of the poet is not going to be there in your examination, but you should know like what is there and what is there not. Okay, so herein, like, this is 1874 to 1963. Keep this in your mind, everyone, that he was born in the year 1874. He died in the year 1963. So he was born in San Francisco but later moved to Massachusetts. Okay, तो इसका क्या मतलब है कि वो सैन फ्रांसिस्को में he was born, लेकिन बाद में वो कहीं और चले गए थे. We should choose our path by oneself. Okay. Gaming, ma'am, is there two roads? One is easy and second one is difficult. So he was confused that which road. ना गेमिंग बेटा, देयर इज नथिंग मेंशन लाइक दिस इन द गिवन पोम कि एक रोड डिफिकल्ट था एक इजी था. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, आपकी पोम में ऐसा नहीं दे रखा है. प्लीज डोंट इनकॉर्पोरेट द वर्ड्स जो जिसका कोई लिंक नहीं है आपके पोम से. आप सारे वर्ड्स को कॉन्टेक्चुअल रखो. मतलब आप ये चीज मत मेंशन करो कि एक रोड इजी था एक डिफिकल्ट था. नो वे ही सेड लाइक दैट. बस उसने ये बोला था कि एक रोड ज्यादा लोगों ने चूज किया, दूसरा रोड ज्यादा लोगों ने चूज नहीं किया क्योंकि उसकी ग्रास ग्रीन है, ठीक है. उस पे ज्यादा लोगों के पैर नहीं छपे हुए, वहां पे पीपल डिडंट ट्रैम्पल ऑन इट, ठीक है. तो दैट इज द थिंग. ही nowhere mentions is that this is the easiest road or this is the difficult road. Okay, so keep that in your mind. It's really important to understand. All right, गेमिंग बेटा, मैंने आपको जो बताया उसे समझो, ठीक है. आपका आंसर गलत था. हाय ललित, हेलो. So yeah, so now he was famous for his realistic depiction of locales. Realistic क्या होता है? Realistic is basically जो थोड़ा सा real हो, ठीक है. तो वो उसके लिए famous था. Then he was famous for the depiction of locales, identities and themes of New England. यानी कि वहाँ पे क्या क्या चीजें हो रही थी आसपास, बेसिकली वो उन चीजों के बारे में ज्यादा बात करता था. तो आपको क्या लगता है कि जब भी रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट किसी भी चीज के किसी भी पोएम को लिखते हैं ना, तो रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट के पोएम्स के पीछे एक बहुत ही बड़ा मेजर सा रीजन होता है, या फिर एक बहुत मेजर सा यू कैन से एक मोटिव होता है, in order to make the reader understand what he wants to imply. Okay, so rarely wrote in free verse. उन्होंने rarely मतलब free verse में लिखा. free verse का क्या मतलब होता है? light verse. ओके उन्होंने बहुत रेयरली लाइट वर्ड्स में लिखा है और सिंपल ट्रेडिशनल स्टाइल ऑफ राइटिंग. उनकी जो लैंग्वेज होती है ना वो बहुत ही सिंपल होती है. ठीक है, लैंग्वेज ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं होती है. एंड ही बिकेम द मोस्ट फेमस पोएट ऑफ हिज टाइम. और वो अपने टाइम के बहुत ही फेमस पोएट हैं. और सिर्फ वही पोएट है जिन्होंने 4 पुलित्जर प्राइजेस पोइट्री के लिए क्या कहते हैं सॉरी जिनको 4 पुलित्जर प्राइजेस मिले हैं पोइट्री के लिए. तो अब आपको ये पता है कि आपको अगर कोई पोम दे रखी है, आपके एग्जाम में आरटीसीज आ जाते हैं, दैट इज रेफरेंस टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं. आपके एग्जामिनेशन में क्या कहते हैं ये आ जाता है रेफरेंस टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन के साथ साथ आई मीन द एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस. तो वहां पे आपसे पूछ लिया जाता है कि राइम स्कीम क्या थी पोम की. तो इफ यू हैव दिस इंफॉर्मेशन ऑलरेडी इन योर माइंड दैट रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू राइट द पोम इन अ rhythm. So there is a rhyme scheme in his poem and he doesn't write in the free verse. That means that there is hardly the light verse in his poems. So you know like what did he write and what did he not. So that way it will help you to understand that what is the correct way of doing something. Okay, like writing the right answers. So this is what you need to remember. He was he was always talking about the real aspects of lives which was like around him, the new themes of the New England. And he had rarely, that means कभी उन्होंने कभी एक दुक्का बार कभी लिखा होगा उन्होंने light verse में. that means blank verse. blank verse का क्या मतलब होता है? light verse और blank verse या फिर हम उसे बोलते हैं no rhyme. Okay, तो इसका ये मतलब है. प्लीज इसका मतलब ध्यान रखो, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Okay. No gaming, beta. I am your English educator. I'm not your science educator. Your science educator will upload the video for your science. Okay. For English, it just cannot happen. I mean, I cannot do that. I can only upload the chapters of English for you. Okay. इज दैट क्लियर? चलिए आगे चलते हैं. अब हम थीम क्या है, हमेशा एक पोम को जब भी डील कर रहे हो आपको उसकी थीम, आपको उसका टाइटल, आपको उसकी सेटिंग वो पता होना चाहिए. सो थीम इज मोर लाइक द सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ अ पोम. दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू कीप इन योर माइंड, द सेंट्रल आइडिया. So what is the central idea of this poem? The road not taken offers a great perception into the process of decision making. When you have to make a decision and when you're being given the choices, especially the two choices, then deciding like any one of them out of it becomes really difficult. So this very particular poem, The Road Not Taken, is talking about a great perception. That means a great level of thinking into the process of decision making, like the thinking that is being involved in deciding something. That's what the poem The Road Not Taken is all about. Okay, please remember these words. These are very important when we are writing an answer which is a long answer question, because ultimately you'll have to meet the word limit therein, and you definitely need to exaggerate the answer, and you cannot just repeat what you're writing. That is completely useless and pointless. Okay, so you should write the sentences in a coherent manner, and that can come easily only and only if you are understanding the different aspects of a poem. Okay, is that clear, everybody? समझ आया? आगे चलें. Give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you all have understood what I just said. Quickly, everybody, a thumbs up in the comment section, please. Quickly, I can have a thumbs up, right? Come on, quickly. Yes, guys. I hope you all got that. Okay, cool. Let's get going. So the traveler, okay, basically the traveler here that we are going, we are basically talking about is the poet himself. So the poet, okay, is at the crossroads. Crossroads basically refer to the place wherein like the roads, they are diverting into the different directions, or the diverging roads. Diverging as in the roads that are now separating from each other, which is symbolizing what? Which symbolizes any individual person. Okay, so it is basically a symbol of any individual person. All right, this is so clearly understandable, right? So the traveler is standing at the crossroads of the diverging roads, which is symbolizing any individual person. That means one person who comes across like various choices in the life, and then he just decides at that particular point standing there, like what are the different aspects. and how he goes past through any decisive movement in his or her life journey. Decisive movement basically refers to your decision making movement. So he is basically talking about the fact that he goes past through any decisive movement, यानी कि वो किसी भी decision making movement से निकलता है अपनी journey बनाने के लिए. Is that clear? समझ आ रहा है? Right? Now the next thing is that his decision or choice of future, मतलब वो जो भी decide करता है या वो जो भी choose करता है future action is sorry choice of future action is of great importance. यानी कि आप आज जो भी decision ले रहे हो, like when you go into your higher classes, you decide I want to go for the commerce stream, or I want to go for the English stream, or sorry art stream, or I want to go for stream, or I want to go for the science stream. So you decide, whatever you decide at this moment will definitely be shaping your life later on, right? And for that, this is really important that you take the right decision at the right time, and it's important you understand all the pros and cons of those decisions. So that's what here we see, that his decision or choice of future action is of great importance. Whatever he is going to decide, that's gonna be really, really very important. Okay? Why? Because his future depends upon it. The entire building of his future would take place only on the decision that he's going to take up. So the poet, all right, the poet Robert Frost, through this poem, asserts the importance of right decision at the right time. This is very important. So Robert Frost, what is he doing through this poem? He's asserting. That means that he is just trying to say this in a very strong manner about what? About the importance of the right decision. That means how to take a good decision at the right time. That is what you have to here deal with. That's what the given theme is all about. Okay? Is this making sense to you guys? Yes, everybody. Am I making myself clear? Yes. Is this clear? Okay, cool. Let's get going. Now coming to the setting. As I always say, there are certain things that you always need to be very careful about. In a poem, let me pinpoint them again. One is your setting. Okay. Second is your title. All right. And I'm sorry, I think it's not visible. Let me rewrite it. Okay. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. So one is your setting. Okay. Second is your title. All right. And of course, the third one is your theme. All these things should be like perfectly clear to all of you. All right. You just cannot go in your examination with learning the summaries. Nowhere, nobody is ever going to give you the marks for the summaries. All right. Like if a question is for just for 3 marks, the teacher may give you like 1 or 0.5, thinking that you've returned something. But if it's like if it's a proper answer, if you're feeding the right answer to the question, then of course you're gonna get 3 on 3. But just providing the summary would never get you any good mark. All right. So if you want to have good marks, you need to understand that what is being given in the poem, and you need to have the contextual words. I mean the right words which are important. Please always write the contextual words, guys. It's really important. Do not write anything extra apart from it. It's not really needed. Okay, please don't do that. Okay, just understand it. So we see what is the setting of this poem. Setting is very important. The setting of the poem is in a forest. कहाँ पे है ये poem? कहाँ पे? पीछे background क्या है? Poem क्या चीज को, sorry, poet क्या चीज को लेकर एक symbol use कर रहा है? So the setting of the poem एक forest में है, autumn season में. Please remember this. We come to know it's autumn season because like there were the leaves that were there like on the very floor. We come to know this while we are gonna read the stanzas. You'll understand it. After the leaves have begun to change color, इसमें आपको क्या पता चलता है? Yellow. ठीक है, yellow woods बोला जाता है. Yellow woods का क्या मतलब है कि jungle woods refer to the forest, and yellow basically refers to the very leaves that had fallen from the trees, and now the color of the leaves have been changed to that of yellow. Okay, so now we see it's the autumn season because the leaves have begun to change color. In the first three stanzas, the speaker is remembering the forest. So we see that in the first three stanzas, the very speaker is talking about the forest. The two rows that continue on from the fork. Fork refers to the diversion. All right, so this is basically the point where somebody is standing, and from here the two roads are diverting. So this is basically refers to the very folk. All right, this is what folk is. Why? Because from here the diversion is taking place. Okay, is that clear? So in the first three stanza, the speaker is remembering the forest. The two roads continue on from the fork and making the decision to choose one rather than the other. So now this is what the poet is doing, that he chooses the road. All right, he just chooses one road and he leaves the other one for some other day to come, though he was himself apprehensive about the fact that whether he would ever be able to come back or not. All right, so this is really one of the very common dilemmas of a common man. At times we take certain decisions in our lives. We don't know how that decision is going to affect us in longer run. You are not aware of it. Okay, so you just take the decision. Of course, the results they come later on. The realizations come later on once you have experienced something. Okay, for example, if I'm saying that I'm good at baking cake and I just assure this, and all my family members now they depend upon me that Preksha is going to bake the cake for today's party. But now the thing is that I am aware of it, that I am really doubtful that I said I will, because I had seen a video and like once even I made it like a couple of years ago. Now I will be able to show my skills well only when it is ready. I right now I'm apprehensive about my own saying. So that's what it is all about. So that is what the setting is. So setting is pretty simple. It's just forest. Okay. Yellow leaves on the floor. That's it. And there is a diversion. All right. The two roads, they are separating from each other. That's what the setting is. Am I making myself clear to everyone? Could you please give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you all have understood what I just said? Quickly, everybody. Could you please give me a confirmation in the comment section if the things are clear to all of you? Yes, guys? Okay, Akash, thank you so much. So now we are coming to the title. Justification of the title is again the next important thing. So we see the title of this poem plays an important role in its interpretation. Interpretation as in like what do you really understand? The road not taken. That means a possibility. All right. Basically an opportunity that was not being opted. That is what it is. All right. Thank you, Babita. Thank you. Hi, Monica. Hi, dear. So we see the title is often mistaken as the road less travel. बेटा ये बहुत बड़ी गलती है जो आप लोग कर देते हो कभी कभी बहुत सारे बच्चों को मैंने ऐसा देखा है कि द रोड नॉट टेकन को वो लोग कहते हैं द रोड लेस ट्रेवल्ड ऐसा कुछ नहीं द रोड नॉट टेकन का बेसिकली ये मतलब है एक रास्ता जो नहीं लिया यानी कि एक अपॉर्चुनिटी जो छोड़ दी द रोड लेस ट्रेवल का ये मतलब होता है एक रास्ता जिसपे कम चले लेकिन चले ठीक है तो ये दोनों अलग चीजें हैं आप इन दोनों को मिक्स नहीं करोगे अगर आप इन दोनों को मिक्स करोगे तो जो आपका रिजल्ट आ रहा है वो गलत हो जाएगा दैट इज नॉट राइट so the road less travel but actually so the title is often mistaken as the road less traveled but actually it is the road not taken. Okay, that means an opportunity that was not being opted for, an opportunity that was not being selected. So if the title were, यहाँ पे were इसलिए लगाया गया है क्योंकि मैं एक imaginative situation की बात कर रही हूँ कि अगर title होता the road less travel, the poem would have a different focus on non-conformity, that is taking the part that others don't take. ऑल राइट सो यहाँ पे क्या होता अगर मैं ऐसे बोलती द रोड लेस ट्रेवल इसका ये मतलब हो जाता कि मतलब एक नॉन कॉन्फर्मिटी मुझे मिलती जहाँ पे आपका फोकस इस बात पे होता कि एक ऐसे पाथ की एक ऐसे रास्ते की मैं बात कर रही हूँ जो दूसरों ने नहीं लिया ठीक है सो बट द टाइटल द रोड नॉट टेकन लेकिन जो टाइटल है रोड नॉट टेकन इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट एंड फोकसिंग ऑन लॉस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटीज That's what it is talking about. The things that were being lost, the things that were not being given the importance, or the things that were not being even considered. The road that the speaker did not take. So herein, like when it comes about the analysis, we make use of the word would, and we say we talk in an imaginative manner. All right, we talk in an imaginative manner, wherein what do? We simply say, we simply say this: the road not taken, basically focusing on the poem, the lost opportunities, the opportunities that the speaker did not take. That means that we are talking, maybe the poet had taken the opportunity of being a poet, and this is one of the very professions which is being chosen by the people very less. So he decided to take the risk. So he is a risk taker. He is very much adventurous in his nature. That is what we understand by him, because he decided to walk on a path which is not being taken by, or which is not being chosen by a lot of people around. All right, so that is what it says. Okay, is that clear? समझ आया? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to everybody? Yes. चलिए आगे चलते हैं फिर हम. Now we are moving towards our stanzas. All right, we would have the 4 stanzas with us. I'll be teaching you all about each and every stanza. Please make sure you're paying attention, and please learn the words right now with me so that you do not miss anything in your examination. The very stanza 1, it says, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Now coming to the meanings. The meanings, they are super important. Take them like seriously. Please do not miss learning them. Diverge basically refers to separate from one another route and go in a different direction. That is what diversion is. Like you are separating from another route and you're going in a different direction. Okay. Then the other thing is undergrowth. Undergrowth refers to a dense growth of shrubs and other plants. A dense growth का क्या मतलब होता है? घने घने जंगल. ठीक है, चारों तरफ जो आपको लगता है ना कि बहुत सारे पेड़ पौधे हों. Then wood, of course, refers to your forest. Keep it in your mind. All right. Is that clear? So now let's get going further. What does it say? मैं आपको सिंपल सा मीनिंग बताती हूँ. दो रोड्स हैं जो कि डिवाइड हो रहे हैं, सेपरेट हो रहे हैं येलो वुड में, यानी कि फॉरेस्ट में जिसमें पतझड़ हो रहा है, सारे पत्ते गिर रहे हैं जमीन पर. एंड सॉरी, तो यहाँ पे जो पोएट है वो उसको बुरा फील हो रहा है. आई कुड यहाँ पे इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द एबिलिटी. वो कह रहा है कि मैं दोनों रोड्स पे ट्रेवल नहीं कर सकता एंड बी वन ट्रेवलर. क्यों नहीं कर सकता दोनों रोड पे ट्रेवलर? क्यों? क्योंकि वो एक अकेला इंसान है. ही इज वन पर्सन कैन बी प्रेजेंट एट वन प्लेस एंड नॉट टू प्लेसेस. ठीक है. लॉन्ग आई स्टूड. लॉन्ग का मतलब क्या होता है? मैं बहुत देर तक खड़ा रहा. एंड व्हाट डज दिस शो? दिस शोज द डिलेमा अ पर्सन गोज थ्रू. एंड लुक्ड डाउन वन एज फार एज आई कुड. वो कह रहे हैं कि मैंने एक जो रोड था, लुक डाउन वन मतलब एक जो रोड था, मैंने देखा जितनी दूर तक मैं देख सकता था. ठीक है, एज आई कुड टू वेयर इट बेंट इन द अंडरग्रोथ. मैंने वहां तक देख पाया जहां से वो अब रास्ता मुड़ने लगा. कहाँ पे? अंडरग्रोथ, यानी कि और घने जंगल में. ठीक है. This is just the simple meaning that we get out of this stanza. Now moving ahead, let's see what is being given right in here. So द स्पीकर वॉकिंग थ्रू अ फॉरेस्ट. तो वो ऑलरेडी एक जंगल में चल रहा है. ठीक है, जंगल में चलते चलते वो एक ऐसे रास्ते पे आता है जहां से दो रास्ते निकलते हैं. All right, so like he's just walking in a forest and then he comes to a place from where there are two roads that are separating. So the speaker walking through a forest whose leaves, all right, have turned yellow in autumn, comes to a fork in the road. That means that he comes to a diversion in the road. All right. The speaker, okay, regretting that he or she is unable to travel, just he is unable to travel the both, he is unable to travel by both roads since he is, after all, just one person. So this is a question that usually is seen in your examination, especially in your RTCs, that is reference to context questions, that why is it that he cannot travel both the roads? So the correct thing is that he cannot travel both the roads because he is just one single person. All right, is that clear? Because he is just one single person, and one person can be present at one place and not all the places in the world, right? So the speaker walking through a forest whose leaves have turned yellow in autumn comes to a fork in the road, that means a diversion. The speaker regretting, like he's feeling sorry that he is unable to travel the both the roads. Okay, why? Because he's just one person. That is what we see. So what is this that herein you see that in this particular poem, all right. There are four stanzas with each stanza having five verse or lines. So the whole poem follows the rhyming scheme A, B, A, B. This is quintain. Quintain is basically a five-line stanza. Then we see a metaphor is there. There are many metaphors in the poem like road, folk in the road, and yellow woods. So they are not like presenting what they say. Instead, they are presenting the opportunities, or they are presenting the choices that one face in life, and that is the dilemmatic situation. Okay, is that clear? Now we see consonants is also there, guys. The literary devices are utmost important. Please pay attention to them in your RTCs, that is reference to context questions. You see the questions from the literary devices, and for that you have to be smart enough to learn them well. Okay, so what is consonants? It is the repetition of consonant sounds such as D in two roads diverging in a yellow wood. So here in the repetition of D is there. So what is consonants? Consonants is the repetition. Please understand this. This is so important. It is basically the repetition of the consonant sounds. All right, but it is never at the start. It is usually in the middle or at the end. So kindly remember it. Okay. Now, parallelism is also there. It is the use of a source of words, phrases, or sentences that have similar grammatical forms, such as, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood and looked down once as far as I could. So there is a parallel that is being done, like drawn between them. Kindly remember all these things. While you're gonna write the answer in your answer sheets, you need to remember all these well. Okay, moving ahead. Now we are moving towards the critical analysis of the same stanza, which is very important. As I've always been saying, there is no point of writing the summaries in your answers. You should be able to give a proper analysis while you're writing an answer. And that's how the things in English, they are being dealt with. And that's how you should remember them. So the famous, all right, the famous opening lines of The Road Not Taken tells readers to the choice the poet faces, right, which is the main focus of the poem. So the main idea, the central idea of the poem basically is the very choice that a person faces, all right, the very choice that a person goes through, all right, which is actually the main focus of the poem. Two roads that diverge and the poet is unable to travel both. So there are two roads that are just diverging. Okay, there is a diversion and the poet is not able to travel on both of them because he is just one single person. He must choose between them. It's important to notice that right from the start the speaker shows a sense of sorrow. Why? How do I come to know that there is a sense of sorrow? Because he uses the term sorry. All right, and since he used the term sorry, so this is a clear cut indication of the fact that there is a sense of sorrow in him at having to choose between the two roads, because he's not even liking it. He's been given the two choices when he himself has to look for like one thing, so he's not really liking him. So at having two choice between the two roads, choosing one road means missing out on the other. So when you're choosing one road, it means that you're missing out on the other. All right, it's the struggle of decision that is the main theme of the poem. So the struggle of decision, the very struggle that is being going on in deciding something, that is where we see that it is working as the main theme of this very particular poem. All right, is that clear, everybody? Right? Okay, I hope that's clear. Quite an important one. So he stands there and he tried to look as far as he could. However, he can't see very far because the forest is dense undergrowth and the road is not straight. Now the road is bending, you know, when it said like bent, there is a bend, and that is where we see the undergrowth. Okay, so kindly keep this in your mind. Okay, this is very important. Undergrowth. So we see this also depicts that no matter how much one tries to predict the future in order to take the rational decision basically refers to a wise decision. One can only try to force your guess up to a limited period. मतलब ये है कि आप ज्यादा प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते हो, आप एक पीरियड तक कुछ देख सकते हो. The way he was able to see to one particular limit. So when he says this, no, that he is able to see only till one limit, that basically means that he can even assume about the choice that he's making only till a particular level and not beyond that. So one can only try to foresee or guess up to a limited period. The bend in the road represents the unknown. So जो bend आता है वो क्या दिखाता है? Unknown चीजें जो real life में क्या show करती है? Uncertainty. Uncertainty basically means something that we are not sure about. Okay, so the bend in the road represents the unknown, which in real life means uncertainty. That is what we see. Okay, very good trap in my mind. All right, hey Sahil, hi dear. Now let's move to the next stanza, everybody. All right, let's move to the next stanza, everyone. Let's see that what is the next stanza that is actually talking about. All right. So, then took the other. Okay, then took the other, just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. अब इनके words fair का मतलब होता है rightly, ठीक है. Perhaps का मतलब होता है used to express uncertainty, maybe. And wanted where basically refers to the fact that maybe they wanted somebody to just walk on it. All right, that's what we are here talking about. Okay, so now in simple words, how am I gonna explain this to you? कि फिर उसने क्या किया, उसने ना दूसरा वाला रोड ले लिया, वो भी उतना ही सही लग रहा था. एंड हैविंग, और वो उसके पास परहैप्स यहाँ पे क्या बता रहा है कि मे बी. All right, it is basically telling us that the poet is not sure himself. वो कह रहा है मे बी उसका ना क्लेम जो है बेटर है, मतलब मे बी ये ज्यादा अच्छा आगे करियर ऑप्शंस देगा. ठीक है, बिकॉज इट वॉज ग्रासी. क्यों? क्योंकि उस पे ग्रासेस थी एंड वांटेड वेयर, और वो चाहते थे कि उस पे ना मतलब उस पे लोग चलें. तो एज फॉर दैट द पासिंग देयर, मतलब जो वहां से निकल रहे थे, हैड वॉन्ट देम रियली अबाउट द सेम, मतलब कि उन्होंने भी, मतलब जो वहां से निकल रहे थे दूसरे रोड पे, तो वो दूसरा रोड भी उतना ही इक्वली उस पे भी लोग चले हैं. सो इन अ वे एक कंसोलेशन यहाँ पे आ जाता है, वेयर इन द पोएट इज ट्राइंग टू से दैट बोथ द रोड्स like seem equal. Okay, that's what he says. So now we are gonna just like land into our explanation, like what is being given right in here. So let's see that what does it say. The speaker selects the other road that appears at to be less worn at first glance and therefore less travel. Very important. All right. So what are we here talking about, everybody? So we are here seeing the speaker selects the other road, okay, that appears at to be less worn at first glance and therefore less travel. All right, so what does it say कि speaker select करता है दूसरा road जो पहली बारी में तो ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत कम उस पे चला गया है. All right, first glance पे, इसलिए उस पे उसको ना मतलब पहली बार में less worn basically refers to the fact that very less people had traveled on it and therefore less travel, इसलिए मतलब बहुत ही कम लोग उस पर ट्रेवल किए हैं. तो द स्पीकर सिलेक्शन ऑफ द अदर रोड, जो स्पीकर का सिलेक्शन है दूसरे रोड का, वो क्या सजेस्ट करता है दैट ही हैज एन इंडिपेंडेंट स्पिरिट, यानी कि ही हैज द विल एंड ही हैज द एबिलिटी ऑफ टेकिंग द डिसीजन ऑन हिज ओन. ऑल राइट, एंड ही डजंट विश टू फॉलो द क्राउड, मतलब वो भेड़ चाल को फॉलो नहीं करता है. Instead, he has got the ability and the possibility to just do the things on his own. Although the speaker still seems pretty uncertain, मतलब जो speaker है वो अभी भी थोड़ा uncertain है, मतलब कुछ sure नहीं है. When he explains that this second path is better. Why? How do we come to know this? Because he uses the word perhaps. It is only perhaps, okay? क्योंकि इससे मुझे पता चलता है that he is pretty uncertain. He is not sure. Then the speaker tells us why the path is better. उसके बाद हमें speaker ये बताता है कि ये जो path है ये अच्छा क्यों है. It seems like it hasn't been walked on very much because it's grassy and doesn't look worn. After a moment, he concludes that both roads are about equally worn. All right. So at the end, he says that both the roads seem fine. All right. Even that also appears to be the same. Like the like people, they have traveled a little less on that also. So that is just one of the ways in order to console oneself. No, when you come up with the reason that this is also fine and that is also fine that way. Okay. This is English, my dear. We are dealing with the subject English. Okay. All right. Now, moving to the literary devices, everybody. In this poem, there are four stanzas. I told you are five verses or lines. Poem, the entire poem, the entire poem is following A B rhyme scheme. Simile is there as just as it is fair, as is given here. The comparison is made between the first and the second road on the basis of the fact that which one is fair. Alliteration is there, which is talking about wanted where WW. Imagery is there, like the whole poem. The second stanza also let readers to visualize. So this is very important when we are talking about something. No, so that is always like imagining. Like that is always, sorry, when I'm talking about this, no, you're always imagining. Like a visual comes to your mind, right? So that is what is happening in this entire poem. All right. Now moving ahead, the coming to the critical analysis, which is again very important, as I keep on saying. So, the speaker says in the second stanza of the poem that looking at the first road, he decides to take the other road as it's just as fair. By fair, the speaker could mean good and attractive. In other words, the second path through the woods is just as welcoming and enticing as the first path. So, in a way, he now says that both the roads are same. He doesn't find any difference between them. All right. He doesn't find any difference with them. Okay. Among them basically. Okay. All right. So now we see, however, the poet could also mean that taking the second road is just as right as good a choice as taking the first road. That's what he is here talking about. All right. Is that clear to everyone right in there? Like quite an important thing to remember. Now, moving ahead. In other words, choosing the second path is as right a choice as choosing the first path. The narrator also chooses the second path because it is grassy and wanted wear. All right. Is that making sense to all of you? That it wanted wear. Okay. Meaning that the grass is growing long on the second path, which is clearly giving an indication that very less people have traveled on it. Okay. Though the narrator claims as in though the narrator shows that he wants to return to the first part on another day, the narrator knows that one step often leads to another and that he or she may never return to the first path. All right. So now you see stanza 3, wherein exactly this point is coming in when he says that he wants to, that he has a doubt if he's ever coming back. Now, and both that morning equally lame and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day! Exclamation. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. All right, so that is what here we see, which is really an amazing thing. So now he is saying कि उस सुबह both मतलब कि दोनों roads उस सुबह बिल्कुल सेम जैसे लग रहे थे. इन लीव्स नो स्टेप है ट्रॉडन ब्लैक, यानी कि जो ले का क्या मतलब होता है, टू पुट इन अ पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन. ट्रॉडन का क्या मतलब होता है, टू सेट डाउन द फुट. ओके, सो उन्होंने कहा कि जो जो पत्तियां वहां पे पड़ी थी, किसी पे भी क्या कहते हैं काला कलर का कोई निशान नहीं था. सो व्हाट डज दैट मीन? दिस इज क्लियरली एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ द फैक्ट कि उस पे किसी का पैर नहीं पड़ा था. ओके, ओ आई केप द फर्स्ट फॉर अनदर डे, कि मैंने जो पहला वाला था वो किसी और दिन के लिए रखा, एक्सक्लेमेशन के साथ. ओके, येट नोइंग पता होने के बावजूद, हाउ वे लीड्स ऑन टू वे, ये पता होने के बावजूद कि कैसे रास्ते आगे से आगे चलते चले जाते हैं. एक रास्ता दूसरे को लिंक करता है, फिर दूसरे तीसरे को. आई डाउटेड इफ आई शुड एवर कम बैक. सो समवेयर इन हिज हार्ट ही न्यू कि पता नहीं कि मैं कभी वापस इस रोड पे आ पाऊंगा या नहीं. सो इन अ वे रोड इज अ सिंबोलिज्म. Road is working as a symbolism here. Road basically refers to the opportunity. So he's like, मैं अभी तो I'm just choosing. Like maybe he was talking about his profession of being a poet. That today he's a poet. All right. Maybe he doesn't know that ever he's going to come back to some other profession or not. So that is what we see. The speaker continues to walk down the second road. He sees that the fallen leaves were not trampled, which means that no one else appears to have come that way, yet as there are no footprints. So there were no footprints right on it, and he was not sure that whether like somebody would appear on it or not. He feels that perhaps he will go down the other road another time, but he may not even come back this way. This represents the choice we make and decision we take in our lives that would never come undone. They are irreversible. That means whatever decisions you are taking in your life, you cannot reverse them, because in a way they decide the course of your entire life. That's what here we see in this very particular chapter. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, everybody? Yes? आई होप दैट्स क्लियर. सो बेसिकली स्पीकर कंटिन्यू करता जा रहा है, वो वॉक कर रहा है सेकेंड रोड पे, सारी लीव्स वहां पे गिरी हुई हैं और कोई भी उस रास्ते पे नहीं चल रहा है. क्यों? क्योंकि उस रास्ते पे उन लीव्स पे फुटप्रिंट्स नहीं है. तो उसको ऐसा लगता है कि परहैप्स यानी कि मे बी वो कभी इस रोड पे दूसरे टाइम पे ट्रेवल कर लेगा, लेकिन उसको पता है कि कैसे वन रोड लीड्स टू द अनदर रोड. लाइक द पीपल वंस दे हैव चोजन द करियर, दे कीप ऑन मूविंग इन देयर लाइव्स. It's hardly the thing that they would ever be looking back. Okay, so this is representing what the choice that they made, all right, and the decision that one takes in one's life. Because once you have taken a decision, that cannot be undone. There is no undo option in your life. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Yes, guys? Yes? Okay. All right. Now coming to the literary devices herein, the third stanza follows A-B rhyme scheme. Quintain is basically a 5-line stanza. The third stanza is quintain. Metaphor is in the third stanza. Way is used as a path, which again depicts what? Life's journey. Imagery, the first two lines of the third stanza also let readers to visualize in detail. Then, of course, consonants is there, and that has made all the difference. The D sound is the dominant one right in here. Okay, so figure of speech, everybody. This is basically like keeping the other way for another day. All right, this is like one thing. Keeping the other way for another day is a figure of speech wherein the poet expresses his desire to take the other way someday. Symbolism is there. The third stanza again symbolizes the life's journey, the choices we get and the decisions we make. So that's what it is basically talking about. Is that clear to everybody right in there? Yes, guys. Is this clear to everyone? Quickly tell me, please. Yes? Okay. Now the critical analysis of the same stanza. In the third stanza, poet says that when he came upon the roads during his travel, which symbolizes the course of his life, both the roads they were covered in the autumn leaves. यानी कि दोनों roads को किसने yellow leaves से covered थी. No step had trodden black. Okay, the more walkers there are, the more trampled the leaves on the path becomes. यानी कि अगर जितने ज्यादा लोग चलते हैं एक रास्ते पे, जो leaves पे वो छाप छोड़ते हुए चलते हैं अपने पैरों की. Okay, but that was not the case with the second road. Then he declares that his decision is made. I mark the first for the another day. So basically, he had marked the first road for the another day. So in this usage, basically, his marking, it doesn't mean that he took something like marker or something and then he like made a line or something. No. So marking is basically is like you're singling out or you are designating. That is, you may walk on that road or you might walk on that road someday. So he then also tells that according to the way life goes on, he may never take the same walk to the same folk again, leaving it forever untraveled. All right, leaving it forever untraveled, यानी कि मतलब कि उसको आप हमेशा के लिए untraveled नहीं छोड़ सकते हो कि उसको उस पे चला ना जाए. That's what he is there talking about. No step that trodden black. बेटा no step that trodden black का ये मतलब होता है that no step had walked on that particular path, due to which the leaves that are laying, the yellow leaves that are laying on that particular path had turned black. Because once a foot, I mean once a foot, like somebody's foot is just placed on the yellow leaves they turn black because of the dirt or the dust on the bottom part of the shoes. Okay, so no leaves had trodden black means that the leaves were not turned black due to the walking of the people on the road, because the people that traveled, that was less. Okay, Is that clear? Yes, A&A detective agency. Is that clear to you now? Okay. Now we are moving towards the last stanza of today's poem, which is I shall be telling this with a sigh. All right. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So sigh is like that, okay, like you are emitting a long deep audible breath, okay, expressing the sadness. That is what it is all about. So herein when he's going to take a sigh, no, that's a sigh of relief. It's not a sigh, मतलब वो जब सांस लेता है वो ये होता है कि thank God कि अब हो गया, like that. Okay, so he is basically going to take a sigh of relief. It's not gonna be a sigh of sadness or sorrow. Okay, and that is what the difference here is. So stanza 4 is saying कि now poet is talking about the fact कि वो आगे फ्यूचर में ना ये एक रिलीफ के साथ बता रहा होगा बहुत वर्षों बाद, बहुत सालों बाद, समय एजेस एंड एजेस हैंस, मतलब आज से बहुत सालों बाद, कि दो रोड्स ऐसे डाइवर्ज हो रहे थे एक फॉरेस्ट में, एंड आई तो आई इस तरीके से दे रखा है बिकॉज ही इज नाउ प्रेसिंग ऑन दिस कि ये मेरा डिसीजन था कि मैंने वो वाला रोड लिया जिस पे लोग बहुत कम चलते हैं, और उसकी वजह से आज सारा डिफरेंस है. सो जो डिफरेंस का मतलब है कि उसकी वजह से उसकी लाइफ शेप हो गई है. दैट इज हाउ हिज करियर हैज बीन मेड, दैट इज हाउ ही डेवलप्ड इन हिज लाइफ, दैट इज हाउ ही मेड अ लाइफ फॉर हिमसेल्फ. दैट इज व्हाट ही मेंशंस राइट इन हेयर. ओके, clear? So now let's have a look कि stanza wise explanation में क्या दे रखा है. He says that in the future he'll take a deep breath and say that once upon a time. Okay, this is somewhere hence and like somewhere ages and ages hence, like यानी कि बहुत वर्षों बाद. तो उन्होंने क्या बोला, ही सेज दैट इन द फ्यूचर, फ्यूचर में वो एक डीप ब्रेथ लेंगे और ऐसे बोलेंगे कि वंस अपॉन अ टाइम ही हैड रीच्ड सच अ पॉइंट, मतलब एक टाइम पे वो एक ऐसे पॉइंट पे पहुंच गए थे जिंदगी में दैट देयर वर टू ऑप्शंस फॉर हिम. एंड मतलब उसके पास दो ऑप्शंस थे, उसके लिए उसके पास दो ऑप्शंस थे. एंड ही ट्रेवल ऑन दैट रोड विच हैड बीन ट्रेवल अपॉन बाय लेसर नंबर ऑफ पीपल, और उसने वो वाला रोड चूज किया. So again here beta, road is not just road in literal sense, it's metaphorical. Okay, it is totally metaphorical, which is basically referring to the opportunity that we are here talking about. Okay, keep it in your mind. So what do we see, that there were two options for him, all right, and he traveled on that road which had been traveled upon by a lesser number of people. Yani ki maybe he's talking about his profession of being a poet. Okay, that's great. Hi Ankita, hello, a detective agency, that's great. All right, which had been traveled upon by lesser number of people. This is a very strong message for every reader. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक strong message है सभी readers के लिए. One should be wise and be careful. मतलब आपको ना बहुत दिमाग लगा के और बहुत ही सावधानी बरतते हुए ये क्या कहते हैं choices अपनी ज़िंदगी में लेनी चाहिए. I mean choose करना चाहिए. One should be wise and be careful while making the choices out of the options that are presented in life, because our future depends upon the choice that we make today. So whatever our future is, that is going to be on the basis of what we are doing today, what we are going to do today. All right, so this is really important. Okay, so your future completely depends upon the fact what you are doing today. All right, this is really one of the very important things that you need to keep in your mind. Have I made myself very clear to everybody right in there? Any questions so far? Anyone? Yes. Any questions? Anybody? Could you please just tell me in the comment section if you've got any question? Everyone. Okay, moving ahead. So what is it? The fourth stanza is the last stanza. Again, AB8, AAB is a rhyme scheme. Repetition is there somewhere, ages and ages. All right, the words assonance is there, yet knowing how way leads on to way. Okay, you see that the very vowels, they've been repeated and the prominent sound of the vowel is coming up. Imagery is definitely there. The last stanza let the readers to visualize about the future when the poet will be old and he would tell the choices he was presented and the decision he made. Okay, So he was being given the two choices, and how did he really decide? That's what we are gonna see. Now coming to the critical analysis of the last stanza, the speaker says in the second stanza of the poem by Fair. I'm sorry. All right. So this is the last one. The last stanza projects us into the future as he imagines that he will tell the whole ordeal. Ordeal as in like the entire event, okay, with a sigh. So the first line of this stanza says that he'll be telling this with a sigh. There are different kinds of sighs, as I told you all, कि आप जब सांस लेते हो, एक तो आप लेते हो टेंशन वाला, एक आप लेते हो रिलीफ वाला, एक आप लेते हो सैडनेस वाला, एक आप लेते हो हैप्पीनेस वाला. So there are different kinds of sighs because ultimately it's about the long breath that you take. Okay, so the most familiar is a sigh of a sorrow or lamentation, यानी कि दुख मनाने वाला. ठीक है, बट देयर इज ऑल्सो अ साई ऑफ रिलीफ, यानी कि जैसे कि आपके सारे बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन ओवर हो जाते हैं या सारे एग्जाम्स ओवर हो जाते हैं, तो व्हाट डू यू रियली से, हाय दिव्याशा, हेलो, गुड इवनिंग देयर, यू आर वेरी लेट टू से गुड इवनिंग टू मी, वी आर जस्ट अबाउट टू एंड द सेशन एनीवे. सो कभी कभी जैसे आपको ऐसा होता है ना, thank god exams khatam hue, so that's a sigh of relief. So the basically the poet here is taking the sigh of relief, and the last part of the poem says, and I took the one less travel by, and that has made all the difference. So there is no indication of sorrow or regret in this statement. Okay, like he is not feeling sorrowful, he is not regretting what he decided for his future. So the first and I is an unstressed sentence position at the end of the line. This indicates reading which is not one of despair. This is not for the sorrow, which the cause would be if there are many repetitions both at the start of a line carrying sentences stress. But here this indicates that the difference at the end of the last line of the poem is a good difference preceded by a sigh of contentment. And what do you mean by contentment? Contentment means satisfaction. So he is satisfied with the fact, like whatever he decided, that was for his good. At life's fulfillment. So Robert Frost knew precisely what in reader emotion he wanted to evoke. So that's how he had written this particular poem. I hope it's clear to everybody out there, right? I hope it's clear, everyone. Could you please tell me and give me a thumbs up in the comment section if everything is clear to everybody right in there, and that too perfectly. Yes, guys. Clear? Okay, let's get going. So guys, we have this amazing accelerate. Okay, you all can save up to 36% on your CBSE subscriptions with free extensions up to 6 months, valid only till August 12, 11:59 p.m. and it's really amazing. For example, if you go ahead with 18 months plus 4 months for plus, the current price is 30,499. Total value will be 40,632, and what you pay is 27,449. So this is going to be 13,183 rupees. So savings up to 32%. You can see the difference right in here. PSH10 is the code. Make use of this code. Go ahead with it and subscribe right away. Do not delay it. You can similarly see this in your iconic subscription as well. If you go ahead with 6 months plus 1 month, for example, then the current price is 22,483, and now what the total value is 26,230. What you are gonna pay 20,235, and this is the saving is 5,995, 23% saving. So that's like an absolute amazing thing. Go ahead, and you must have seen that CBSE class 10 achievers list. Remarkable performance was being given by Unacademy learners in CBSE class 10 board examination 2022. You could be the next. All you need to do is you have to make use of the code PSH10 right away and subscribe right away for your betterment. Okay. So 99.8% highest scorer, 412 plus learners secure 90% or more, 100 plus learners secure 95% or more, and 114 plus learners secured 100% in different 100 marks in different subjects. So guys, we have the Warriors batch coming off for all the 90s. Make sure you all are going in for it. It's gonna be started right from August 18. Mode of delivery would be English. SST English, Hindi, Science and Maths would be taught by Rashmi ma'am, Lakhan sir, Akash sir, Himal sir, and Kunal sir respectively. Use the code PSH10, and right now the offer is going on, accelerate offer, so you'll be getting the good discounts. Apply the code, go ahead with it, and that's gonna be so amazing for everyone right in there. Then we have the Warriors batch for the full syllabus. It's gonna be started from August 18 for 10th. Impart the information among your seniors, your relatives, your cousins, your siblings, and let them know what are we doing herein. Okay, so the mode of delivery here is going to be English, Science, Math, Social Science, Hindi, English is going to be taught by Santosh sir, Vishal sir, Sikandar sir, Akash sir, and Lakhan sir respectively. So make a move. Iconic subscription is given wherein we are providing your personal guidance. One-on-one guidance would be there from top exam experts. Test analysis would be there. One-on-one guidance from the top exam experts. Study planner, customized study plan with bi-weekly review. Study material, specialized notes and practice tests. Experts guidelines, study booster workshop by exam experts. Then we would have plus. So live classes would be there. Weekly tests would be there. Structured courses, unlimited access would be there. All you need to do is you have to make use of my code PSH10 in order to avail the discounts that we have right now. Also, if you go ahead with Iconic, you'll be getting all the benefits of the plus included in it. So kindly take the decision wisely. We have different monthly plans for plus 48, 42, 36, 24, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. Use my code PSH10. Go ahead with the discounts right away. Then for Iconic also, we have different monthly subscriptions 48, 36, 24, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. Use the code PSH10. Avail the discounts. Discuss it with your parents right away. Introducing the community. Never miss any update from your favorite educator. Get sessions, notes, and practice material. Share your feedback with educators via poll and check out the link to the educator community below. And then the Bugs Bounty, it's an opportunity for all the learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. Be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize and report any inappropriate content using the form given in the description. Thank you everyone. I'm gonna catch you all right at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Please note the timing. The session is already scheduled. I'm gonna catch up with the Menti quiz for the very poem, The Road Not Taken. Do not miss it. I'll catch you all soon. Do not forget to like and share the session with all your friends. And if you're new and watching the video for the first time, then do not forget to hit the bell button. Subscribe the channel. All right, people. So take